Mood 1, cultural exchange. In the quarter of the Negroes, where the doors are doors of paper dust, Dingy Adams blows a scratchy sound. Amorphous jack-o'-lanterns caper, and the wind won't wait for midnight for fun to blow doors down. By the river and the railroad, with fluid far off going, boundaries bind, unbinding. A whirl of whistles blowing, no trains or steamboats going, yet Leontine's unpacking. In the quarter of the Negroes, where a doorknob lets in leader more than German ever bore, her yesterday past grandpa, not of her own doing, in a pot of collard greens is gently stewing. There, forbid us to remember, comes an African in mid-December, sent by the State Department among the shacks to meet the blacks. Leontine, Sammy, Harry Poitier, lovely leader. Marion Lewis, Pearlie Mae, George S. Schuyler, Molto Bainey, come what may. Langston Hughes. In the quarter of the Negroes, where the railroad and the river have doors that face each way, and the entrance to the movies up an alley, up the side. Pushcarts fold and unfold in a supermarket sea. And we better find out, Mama, where is the colored laundromat since we moved up to Mount Vernon? Ralph Ellison as Vespucius, Eleora at the masthead, Arnold Bontom, Chief Consulta, Molto Bainey, Mellow Baby, Pearlie Mae, Shalom Aleikum, Jimmy Baldwin, Sammy, come what may. The signs point Ghana, Guinea, and the toll bridge from Westchester is a gangplank rocking risky between the deck and shore of a boat that never quite knew its destination. In the quarter of the Negroes, Ornette and consternation claim attention from the papers who have no news that day of Moscow. In the pot behind the paper doors, what's cooking? What's smelling, Leontine? Leader, lovely leader. And a leaf of collard greens, lovely leader, Leontine. In the shadow of the Negroes, in Kruma, in the shadow of the Negroes, Nasser. In the shadow of the Negroes, Azikwe, Cuba, Castro, Guinea, Torre, for need or propaganda, Kenyatta. And the tom dogs of the cabin, the cocoa and the cane break, the chain gang and the slave block, tarred and feathered nations, Seagrams and 4 roses, $5 bags, a deck or dagger. Filibuster versus Frito, like a snapping turtle, won't let go until it thunders. Won't let go until it thunders. Tears our body from the shadow, won't let go until it thunders. in the quarter of the Negroes. And they asked me right at Christmas if my blackness would it rub off. I said, ask your mama. Dreams and nightmares. Nightmares, dreams, oh, dreaming that the Negroes of the South have taken over, voted all the Dixiecrats right out of power comes the colored hour. Martin Luther King is governor of Georgia. Dr. Rufus Clement, his chief advisor. Zelma Watson George, the high grand worthy, in white pillared mansions, sitting on their wide verandas. Wealthy Negroes have white servants, and white sharecroppers work the black plantation. And colored children have white mammies. Mammy Phobos, Mammy Eastland, Mammy Patterson, dear, dear, darling old white mammies, sometimes even buried with our family. Dear old Mammy Phobos. Culture, they say, is a two-way street. Hand me my mint julep, Mammy, and make haste. Move to Ride, Red Ride. I want to see my mother, when the roll is called up yonder in the quarter of the Negroes. Tell me, how long must I wait? Can I get it now? Sa-ida, sa-ida, or must I hesitate? An eye, boy, an eye. In the quarter of the Negroes, tu abuela, donde está? Lost in Castro's beard, tu abuela, donde está? Blown sky high by Mount Pile, donde está? Donde está? While she fleeing with Lumumba, grandpa's grandma always took the other side. A little rum with sugar, ay, Marina, donde está? Grenadine, Granada, or de sangre es la gota? Santa Claus, forgive me. But your gift books are subversive. Your dolls are interracial. You'll be called by Eastland when he asks you if you know me. Don't take the Fifth Amendment. In the quarter of the Negroes, riding in a Jaguar, Santa Claus, seems like once I met you with Adam Powell for chauffeur, and your hair was blowing back in the wind. Move 3, shades of pig meat. In the quarter of the Negroes, Belgium shadows Leopold, Premier Downing aging, General Borst beleaguered, Eastland and Malin deceased. Dead or alive, their ghost cast shadows. In the quarter of the Negroes, where Negroes sing so well. Negroes sing so well. So well. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow. Negroes sing so well. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Glory, hallelujah. Where is Latilina? And who is Mac the Knife? And was Porgy ever married before taking Bess to wife? And why would my, not May, become Jewish the hard way? In the quarter of the Negroes, answer questions, answer and answer with a question. And the Talmud is corrected by a student in a fez who is the Jesuit, as North Pole is to South, or Zeke to Alabama, or Big Maybell to the Met. Hip boots deep in the blues. And I ain't never had a hip boot on. Hair blowing back in the wind. I ain't never had that much hair. Diamonds in pawn. And I ain't never had a diamond in my natural life. Me in the White House. And I ain't never had a black house. Do Jesus, Lord. Amen. lo, lo, le, lo, 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 eh, oh, eh, lo, eh, Mood 4, Ode to Dinah. In the quarter of the Negroes were to snow, now acclimated. Shadows show up sharper. The one coin in the meter keeps the gas on while the TV fails to get Pearl Bailey. Since it's snowing on the TV, this last quarter of centennial, 100 years emancipated. Mechanics need repairing, for Niagara Falls is frozen, as is custom below zero. Mama's fruitcake, sent from Georgia, crumbles as it's nibbled to a disc by Dinah. In the rum that washed maracas from another distant quarter to this quarter of the Negroes, where the song is Mahalia's daughter, stepfathered by blind lemon. Stepfathered by blind lemon. When Niagara Falls is frozen, there's a bar with windows frosted from the cold that makes Niagara a ghostly monument of winter, to a band that once passed over with a woman with 2 pistols on a train that lost no passengers, on the line whose route was freedom. Through the jungle of white danger to the haven of white Quakers, whose haymow was a manger, where the Christ child once had lain. So the whiteness and the water melts to water once again, and the roar of Niagara drowns the rumble of that train. Distant, almost now as distant as forgotten pain, in the quarter of the Negroes, where a bar with frosted windows, no conductor and no train. Bongo, bongo, Congo, buffalo and bongo, Niagara of the Indians, Niagara of the Congo. Buffalo to Harlem's overnight. In the quarter of the Negroes, where white shadows pass, dark shadows become darker by a shade, sucked in by fat jukeboxes, where Dinah's songs are made from slabs of silver shadows, as each quarter clinks into a million pools of quarters, to be carted off by brinks. The shades of Dinah's singing make a spangle out of quarters ringing, to be kept far off by canaries in silver cages singing, oh, tell me, pretty papa, what time is it now? Pretty papa, what time is it now? Don't care what time it is, I'm gonna love you anyhow. While Niagara Falls while Niagara Falls. While Niagara Falls is frozen. Santa Claus, forgive me, but babies born in shadows, in the shadow of the welfare check, if born premature, bring welfare checks weeks sooner, yet no presents down the chimney. In the shadow of the welfare, chocolate babies born in shadows are tribal now no longer. Saving memories of gangrenous icing on a 20-story project. The chocolate gangrenous icing of just wait. Tribal now no longer Papa Mama in relation to the child. Once your brother's keeper, now not even keeper to your child. Sheltered now no longer, born to grow up wild. Tribal now no longer, one for all and all for one, no longer accepting memories of hate, umbilical sulfurous chocolate. Got to wait, this last quarter of centennial, got to wait. Oh, I want to go to the show, mama. No show fair, baby, not these days. On the big screen of the welfare check are lynched tomorrow sways. With all deliberate speed, a lynched tomorrow sways. Living 20 years in 10. Better hurry, before the present becomes when and you're 50, when you're 40, 40 when you're 30, 30 when you're 20, 20 when you're 10. In the quarter of the Negroes, where the pendulum is swinging to the shadow of the blues. Even when you're winning, there is no way not to lose. Where the shadows merge with shadows, the doors marked ladies opens inward and can knock the Hades out of one in exit if pushed by hurried entrance. In the shadow of the quarter, where the people all are darker, nobody needs a marker. Amen is not an ending, but just a punctuation. White folks' recession is colored folks' depression. They asked me right at Christmas, would I marry Pocahontas? Meanwhile, Dinah eating chicken, never missed a bite when the man shot at the woman and by mistake shot out the light. Mood 5, blues in stereo. Your number's coming out. Bouquets I'll send you, and dreams I'll send you, and horses shod with gold on which to ride if motor cars would be too tame. Triumphal entry send you, shouts from the earth itself, bare feet to beat the great drum beat of glory to your name, and mine one and the same. You barefoot too, in the quarter of the Negroes, where an ancient river flows past huts that house 1,000,000 blacks, and the white god never goes, for the moon would white his whiteness beyond its mask of whiteness, and the night might be astonished and so lose its repose. In a town named after Stanley, each night comes nightly. And the music of old music's borrowed from the horns that don't know how to play on LPs that wonder how they got that way. What time is it, mama? What time is it now? Makes no difference to me, but I'm asking anyhow. What time is it, mama? What time is it now? Down the long hard road that I've been hoeing, I thought I heard the horn of plenty blowing. But I gotta get a new antenna, Lord. My TV, my TV, my TV keeps on snowing. Move 6, Horn of Plenty. Singers like Odetta and that statue on Bedloe's Island, managed by Soul Who Rock. Dancers Bojangles, late lamented, Catherine Dunham, Al and Leon, Arthur Carmen, Alvin, Mary, Jazzers, Duke, and Dizzy, Eric Dolphy, Miles and Ella, and Miss Nina. Strayhorn hid backstage with Luther. Do you read music? And Lewis saying, not enough to hurt my playing. Gospel singers who pant to pack, golden crosses to their Cadillac, Bonds and Still and Margaret Still, global trotters, baseball batters, Jackie Willie, Campanella, football players, leather punchers, unforgotten Joes, and Sugar Rays who break away like comets from lesser stars in orbit to move out to St. Albans, where the grass is greener. Schools are better for their children, and other kids are less meaner than in the quarter of the Negroes, where winter's name is Hawkins and Niagara Falls is frozen if show fares more than 30 cents. Yeah, baby. I moved out to Long Island even farther than St. Albans, which lately is stoned nowhere. I moved out even farther on the Sound, way out the turnpike. And guess what? I'm the only colored. Got there, yes, I made it. Name in the papers every day. Famous the hard way. From nobody and nothing to where I am. They know me too, downtown, all across the country, Europe. Me, who used to be nobody. Nothing but another shadow in the quarter of the Negroes. Now, a name, my name, a name. Yet they asked me out on my patio, where did I get my money? I said, I got it from your mama. They wondered, was I sensitive? Had a chip on my shoulder. Did I know Charlie Mingus? And why did Richard Wright live all that while in Paris instead of coming home to decent die in Harlem or the south side of Chicago or the womb of Mississippi? And one should love one's country, for one's country is your mama. Living in St. Albans, shadow of the Negroes. Way up in Westchester, shadow of the Negroes. Westport and New Canaan, in the shadow of the Negroes. Highly integrated means too many Negroes, even for the Negroes. Especially for the first ones, who moved in unobtrusive. Book of the month in cases. Seeking suburb with no jukebox, pool hall, or bar on corner. Seeking lawns and shade trees. Seeking peace and quiet. Autumn leaves in autumn. Harlem bulbs in spring. Decent garbage service. Birds that really sing. $40,000 houses, payments not belated. The only Negroes in the block, integrated. Horn of Plenty. In escrow to Joe Glazer, the Sermon on the Mount. In Billington's Church of Rubber, love thy neighbor as thyself, in George Tchaikovsky's column. Birds that really sing. Every day's tomorrow. Election time is always 4 years from the other. And my lawnmower, new and shiny from the Big Glass Shopping Center, cuts my hair on credit. They rung my bell to ask me if I could recommend a maid. I said, why, yes. Your mama. Mood 7 gospel cha-cha. In the quarter of the Negroes were the palms, coconuts, cha-cha like castanets. In the wind's frenetic fists were the sand seeds, and the sea gourds make maracas out of me. Urzuli plays a tune on the bongo of the moon, the papa drum of sun, and the mother drum of earth, nor the tourist only for the money that they're worth. And the quarter of the Negroes, mama, mamacita, papamitio, dambala, guido, orgoon, and the horse that lugged the first white tourists up the mountain to the citadel of the shadows. The shadows were the shadows of the Negroes, are the ghost of former glory. Toussaint with a thread still pulls his prow of stone. A stone. I bought a fish and salt it, and my plantains, my beautiful plantains, with his glory. Ay, Bahia, sunset stained with blood, clear green crystal water, and the cry that turned to music, where the sea sand and the sea gorge make claves of my sorrows. In the wind's frenetic fists, Mamacita, Papalegba, Shango, Bedward, Pocomania, Guido, Orgoon, and the boat beyond the Fortaleza to the villa of Naningo, a long way from Bahia. How I got there, I don't know. What's his name, my cousin who seduced Marie Laveau? Dambala, Guido, the Virgin, Bedward, John Jasper, Jesus, Daddy Grace. I tried, Lord knows I tried. Dambala, I prayed, Lord knows I prayed. Daddy, I climbed up that steep hill. The Virgin with the cross, Lord knows I climbed. When I got there, John Jasper, Jesus, when I got to Calvary, up there on that hill, already there was three, and one, yes, one, was as black as me. Cha-cha. 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 Mood 8. Is it true? From the shadows of the quarters, shouts or whispers curse through the farthest corners, sometimes of the now known world. Undeciphered and unlettered, uncodified, unparsed, in tongues unanalyzed, unechoed, untaken down on tape. Not even folkways captured by Moesh or Alan Lomax. Not yet on safari. Where to game is to bag elusive as a silver unicorn, and the gun to do the killings still to be invented. To fertilize the desert, the French may have the secret. Turn. Oh, turn, dark lovers, on your bed of whispered echoes. Ay, Dios. Ay, Dios. Ay, Dios. 20 hours for the mill wheel to be mill wheel. Waited 20 days for the biscuit to be bread. Waited 20 years for the sadness to be sorrow. Waited 20 more to catch up with tomorrow. And I cannot write commercials to my chagrin, not even singing, and the whispers are unechoed on tape, not even folkways. Yes, suburbia will eventually be only in the sea. Meanwhile, of course, on a muddy track in the quarter of the Negroes. Some horse might slip and break its back, but scriptwriters who know better would hardly write it in a script, or sports writers in their story. Yet the horse whose leg is broken gets shot right into glory. They asked me at the PTA, is it true that Negroes... I said, you better ask your mama that question. Mood 9, ask your mama. From the shadows of the quarters, shouts or whispers carries from the farthest corners of the now known world. 5th and Mound in Cincy, 63rd and Shy, 23rd and Central, 18th Street and Vine. I've written, called repeatedly, even rung this bell on Sundays, yet your third floor tenant's never home. Did you tell her that our credit office has no recourse but to the law? Yes, sir, I told her. What did she say? She said, tell your mama. Oh. 17 sorrows and the number 602. High balls, low balls, the 8 ball is you. 7-Eleven, come 7. Porgy and Best at the picture show. I've never seen it, but I will, you know, if I have the money to go. Fillmore out in Frisco. 7th across the bay. 18th and Vine in KC. 63rd and Shy. On the corners, picking splinters out of the midnight sky. In the quarter of the Negroes. As Leola passes by, the men can only murmur, my. Lumumba, Louis Armstrong, Patrice, and Patty Page. Hamburger, Pepsi Cola, King Cole, Jukebox Payola. In the quarter of the Negroes. God willing, drop a shilling. Fort de France, Place Bigard, Ving France, Nickel, Dime, Bahia, Lagos, Dakar, Lennox, Langston 2, God willing, a quarter or a shilling. Paris at the Dome, Ving France will do. Rotonde, Select DuPont, Fleury, tall black student in horn-rimmed glasses, who at the Sorbonne has 6 classes. In the shadow of the Clooney, conjures unicorns, speaks English, French, Swahili, has almost forgotten mealy, but why ride on mule or donkey when there's a unicorn? Night in a cicuture cap, dressed like a teddy boy, blots colors off the map. Perhaps, if it be God's will, Azikiwe's son, Amika, shakes hands with Emmett Till. Brickbats burst like bubbles Stones burst like balloons, but hearts keep dogged beating, seldom bursting, unlike bubbles, unlike brickbats, far from stone. In the quarter of the Negroes, where no shadow walks alone, little mules and donkeys share their grass with unicorns. Move 10. Bird in orbit. D. Delight. Delighted. Introduce me to Miss Mabley, Jocko, Bo Diddley, Little Greenwood, Belafonte, Frisco, Josephine, Bricktop, Inez, Mailbell, Mercer. And I'd like to meet the one-time 6-year-old's first grade teacher in New Orleans. In the quarter of the Negroes, where sit-ins are conducted by those yet uninducted, and the ballots drop in boxes where bullets are the tellers. They asked me at Thanksgiving, did I vote for Nixon? I said, I voted for your mama. Methuselah signs papers WWEB, the original Niagara, NAACP. Adele, Ramona, Michael served brew cocoa tea. Irene and Helen are as they used to be, and Smitty has not changed at all. Eliud Sadar sips his negritude. The Reverend Martin Luther King mounts his unicorn, oblivious to blood and moonlight on his horn, while Molly Moon strews Seagrams, Eslita strew her corn, and Charlie Yardbird Parker is in orbit. Ay, Manigra. Ay, Morena. Where did you meet my grandma? At Mother Bethel's in the morning? I'm asking, Grandpa, I'm asking. Were you married by John Jasper of the Duluth Cosmic Conscious? Grandpa, did you hear the old folks say how tall the cane grew? Say how white the cotton. Speak of rice down in the marshland. Speak of Frederick Douglass's beard and John Brown's white and longer, Lincoln like a clothes brush. And of How Sojourner, to prove she was a woman, bared her bosom, bared in public, to prove she was a woman. What she said about her children all sold down the river. I look at the stars, and they look at the stars, and they wonder where I be, and I wonder where they be. Stars at stars, stars. Ture down in Guinea, Lumumba in the Congo, Jomo in Kenyatta, stars. Grandpa, did you find her in the TV silence of a million Martha Roundtrees? In the quarter of the Negroes, did you ever find her? That gentleman in expensive shoes made from the hides of blacks, who tips among the shadows, soaking up the music, asked me right at Christmas, did I want to eat with white folks? Those sit-in kids, he said, must be red. Kenyatta, red. Castro, red. Nkrumah, red. Ralph Bunche investigated Mary McLeod Bethune, barred by the Legion from Inglewood, New Jersey High School. How about that NAACP and the radicals in that there Southern Conference? Ain't you got information on Dr. Robert Weaver? Investigate that Santa Claus whose dolls are interracial. Investigate them Negras who bought a Doberman Pinscher. That gentleman in expensive shoes made from the hides of blacks, tips among the shadows, soaking up the music. The music. The music. The music. Mood 11, Jazz Tet muted. In the Negroes of the quarter, pressure of the blood is slightly higher. In the quarter of the Negroes, where black shadows move like shadows, cut from shadows, cut from shade, in the quarter of the Negroes, suddenly catching fire from the wingtip of a matchtip on the breath of Ornette Coleman. There in neon tunes, the music from jukebox joints is laid, and free delivery TV sets on gravestones. Dates are played, and extra large, the kings and queens, and either side arrayed, and doors that open outward to the quarter of the Negroes, where the pressure of the blood is slightly higher to the smoldering shadows that sometimes turn to fire. Help me, Yardbird! Help me! Help me, Yardbird! Yeah, help me! Help me! Help me, Yardbird! Help me! Help me! Move 12. Show fare, please. Tell me, mama, can I get my show tell me fare from you? Or do you think that Papa's got change in his long pocket? In the quarter of the Negroes, where the mask is placed by others, IBM electric, bongo drums are costly. Tell me, mama, tell me. Strip tickets, still illusion. Got to ask. Tell me, mama. All that music, all that dancing, concentrated to the essence of the shadow of the dollar paid at the box office, where the lighter is the darker in the quarter of the Negroes, and the tell me of the mama is the answer to the child. Did you ever see 10 Negroes weaving metal from 2 quarters into a cloth of dollars for a suit of good time wearing? Weaving out long-term credit, interest beyond caring? The heads of these 2 quarters are this or that, or less or most, since but 2 exist beyond the Holy Ghost. Of these 3, is 1 me? The TV's still not working. Show fare, mama, please. Show fare. Show fare, mama. Show fare, mama. Show fare, please. Show fare, mama. Show fare, mama. Show fare. Show fare, please. Show fare. do do be be do 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 de be do do de be do do de do do de be do do be do 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 le do le le o do do de be do do de be do do de be do do de do do be be do do be o do do le do le le o bo ba da Give it up for Yuma Song on piano, Max Krauss on the bass, Sheldon Reed on the drums, and yours truly, Ron McCurdy on trumpet and spoken word, Langston Hughes. Thank you.